is going to be my official co-stream of The Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn DLC and Year 7 Showcase. If you're interested in The Division 2 DLC Battle for Brooklyn or The Division 2 Year 7, we're going to learn about it in about 29 minutes. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure that you hit subscribe and do all that. And thank you, Wilbur, for reminding me to turn off automatic ads. If you guys are watching the VOD later, the ads should be not terrible. We're trying to limit how much they show up, so leave us a comment below if they're too bad or too frequent. I'm going to end the previous stream and redirect folks over from our Expedition 33 review roundup. Thank you so much. YouTube really needs to do something with how directory changes happen. It's not good UX. I mean, I just changed really easily and really quickly. It didn't seem to be a problem. Like, did it give you grief as a viewer? Does it do something negative for you? Hang on. I'm not seeing YouTube chat. Let me go to platforms. Yeah, we got disconnected from YouTube in this app. Man, that gets old. All right. Monitor. It disconnected the other one. Oh, of course it disconnected the other one. It's a new stream. All right, hang on. I'm going to have to reload the chat application. Creature got his way. Creature got his way. I'm not seeing the YouTube chat, though. Hang on. I'm going to have to the app is acting up. Let me go to platforms. All right, I'm just going to have to close and reopen the chat app. I can't see what you guys are saying on YouTube. I mean, I can, but not in the combined chat app. Wait, I don't understand. I saw Solemn saying something. Is my Twitch chat also broken? Let me refresh the dashboard over here. There it goes. There we go. Okay, Twitch is moving. All right, hang on. I got to reconnect YouTube via this app that I use. And then let me open up the chat. Yeah, I don't know what the heck's going on. Okay, now it's working. I see Twitch. Test. Okay, I'm seeing Twitch and YouTube. It's working again. I just had to like reload the app, I guess. Sorry, everybody. We're using an app called StreamerBot, and it blends the chats, but when we're bouncing around that many times, I think it really, really confuses it. It's like it doesn't know which chat to pull from, the old one or the new one. We see you too. What's good, Unwound Admin? If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure and smash the like button as you climb in here. Those likes are needed. This is a brand new stream. This is not the stream from before. It's our second stream of the day. If you're watching on Twitch, we have a little friendly competition here. There's been 4 Twitch subs today, but there's been 23 over on YouTube. It's members versus subs. Who can get the most? You guys crushed it yesterday, but YouTube came out ahead. I can't say anything on YouTube, only here. That's not because of technical issues. I could probably undo that. I forget when that was. We got in chat. He says he's stream botting. Yeah. The app is called streamer.bot, and it lets you basically blend your chats. It's like a free application that we downloaded. How's the gameplay these days? I never played. I actually don't know. I've not touched Division 2 in a really, really long time. I'm interested from afar. I'm interested if they're going to be doing anything today to make it clear they're setting up Div 3. You know what I mean? Yo, what's good, John Lepkowski? How are you? You think we're getting any Division 3 teasers? I don't know. Shout out to Creature for talking you some Division shenanigans. Call me Rhino, dude. So good to see you. I saw a stream last night that would repost comments from Facebook streams into Twitch chat live so everyone could be a part of it. Yeah, I don't have a way of doing that. I don't have a way of combining chat for you guys. That's not possible. I believe there's, like, I can combine the chat so that I can see them, but I don't think you guys can do that. It would take on-screen chat. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't want on-screen chat. Number one, I don't like that. Number two, stuff ends up in your stream that you don't want there. Just have Creature type manually each one. That might work, T-Bone. You guys over here on YouTube, make sure and do that diligent thing, man. That's got to be that ritual. Come in and hit the like button. Pretty much all of you came over. Pretty much all of you came over. Let's get the first 100 likes really, really quickly. That'll really help this video do well on YouTube. I don't want to spoil it. I think making the moral choice there gets you killed, even though the little one lives. What are you talking about? A super chat from True SSJ Havoc says, I loved Div 1, but I never gave Div 2 a chance. I dropped it quickly and got sidetracked with work. Maybe I should hurry up and get started. Let me reset the super chat goal, and I do owe you guys like 20 members. I will gift a member. I actually owe you guys 25 members. I do. I owe you 25 members. And I'm going to give you guys 20 right now. Just like the stream for you. Thank you, Drum Man. I appreciate that. And we can go back to hitting the credit card. There you go. There's a 20 that I owe you. Now, 1 second. Let me double check to make sure. Okay. Yeah. We're good. We watched you do that. We just saw that. Oh, that's fine. Good thing credit card number is automatically covered. Yeah. Oh, that's not a big deal. Yeah. It's all you can see is like either the name PayPal or what, last four, the credit card or whatever. That's fine. Okay. Saw your email? I mean, that email's public. I've never hid that email. Yep. That's an email that a lot of people have or have seen. We also have the Reforge Media one as well. You playing Days Gone tonight or tomorrow? Wait. Days Gone. I thought that was Friday. You kind of miss this game, says Sven. I always wanted to be. Oh, Days Gone remasters tomorrow as well. I don't know what we're gonna do with that then. Shoot. I don't know if we can go that many wide. I think playing Expedition 33 makes more sense. Gojira says it's Friday. Days Gone remaster release date. This says April 25th. Yeah, this says April 25th. That's Friday. Can you get in early or something? Yeah. No, we're going to play that Friday. Yeah, Friday at midnight, which is not tomorrow. I mean, it's tomorrow as soon as the clock rolls over, but that's not really tomorrow, technically. So, yeah, we'll play that Friday. So, tomorrow it's Talk Show and then Expedition 33. And then Friday will be Talk Show, Days Gone Remaster, and then we'll be hanging out with Hilly. We might just play Repo again. Maybe see if we can't get a little bit further. We were getting a little bit better at Repo. Okay. Appreciate you guys supporting us as well. We're not actually sitting in a too terrible spot in the Division directory, Division 2 directory on Twitch. So thank you for that. I'm pretty sure that somebody put some Russian. Let's stream. Well, I don't know you, so I can't stream with you. I also don't speak Russian. Oh, thank you, Sven, for doing it for me. I was just doing that. How did I like playing Oblivion yesterday? It was great. It was really, really great. It was. Who plays Division 2 on the PS5 or the Pro? And do you feel motion stutter with the game running at 30 instead of 60? Why would you play it at 30? Division DLC this long after launch? They're basically outlining year 7, and again, I'm of the opinion that they can use Division 2 to build everything that they could possibly think of or need for the Division 3, but I just don't know. Eventually, your game's going to run out of gas, and you're just not going to have enough players. But they may be able to justify it as basically like a public testing ground for their ideas about weapon scaling and counter scaling, loot incentive. There's a lot they can test within an existing game. It's easier to do that than to dedicate dev time to a brand new game and maybe misfire on something. So we need about 10 more likes on YouTube. You guys are crushing it on YouTube. YouTube is also leading with new members today. 23 members over here on YouTube. That's resubs and new. Twitch, you can re-up your subs or gift or prime, and it counts as well. Little friendly competition between the platforms. YouTube won yesterday, and they're winning again today. If you are watching on Twitch, be sure to hit follow as well, that little heart. And when you're subbed on Twitch, you'll never see an ad. That is a nice feature that I turn on for you guys over here. Hilly says, YouTube ain't leading. Oh, we'll see. Weren't they supposed to completely redo the model of this game to Diablo-style seasons? Well, I don't know. I don't know, Saul. I just always assumed that that's what they would do in the waning hours of Division 2, is you would just say, let's test everything that we think might be good for the Division 3 in the Division 2. Paul says they dropped all that. Okay. I never understood the development of Div 2. They put out one DLC many years ago. They do bare minimum to support it, and now a new DLC. They were going to EOL the game Spy Who Swags, and they had too many people playing and spending money. So they basically stopped, and they've just kept doing stuff. When you start dual streaming, literally last week, I got my Twitch channel reinstated last week. I had been emailing Dan Clancy, and he was like, yeah, the team's going to reinstate your channel. And then the team changed their mind 3 weeks later, and I was like, okay, can I ask why? And he told me to hang tight. And then on Monday of last week, he said, hey, did you get the emails? And I had been reinstated. So we appreciate him looking into it, and we're so happy to be welcomed back to Twitch. It's just exciting. Really hoping for crossplay news or something. Would love to play with my PlayStation buddies. Jake says the community wanted more Div content. Exec says, nah, you get an avatar and you'll like it. So yeah, if you guys want to support the Twitch channel and you're on YouTube, a really great way to support the Twitch channel, if you're paying for Amazon Prime, You have something called a Twitch Prime sub that supports me. It's like subscribing with real money. It supports me the same. So you can head over to Twitch. You can use the Twitch command on YouTube, and you can use your Prime sub over there. My issue is, last I checked, they didn't have cross save. Maybe that changed. People in chat could weigh in if that's changed. I don't know that it has. Dauntless says, if you don't use your Prime sub, you give Bezos the money. That's right. Div 2, the first 2 years were great, but I feel like it lost momentum when they started developing other games. You had to start all over. I don't know if I'd ever be able to jump back into a game like this and want to have all of my stuff. I'd be so confused. I don't know. This is something that games like this are always going to struggle with. Even brand new live service games have to think about this. Like, what are you going to do when your game has been out for a year or two and you need the new user onboarding? You need people to be able to come into your game and have a good time, right? I don't think it's as simple as, just let them start a character. It's never that simple. You typically are going to have new user onboarding. Because a lot of the times my issue with a game like this is I don't know what they've changed. I don't know what they've made better. You're like, oh, this is better, that's better, this is better, And it's like, well, yeah, but I don't know if that's better. It's like if you clean your room and you make it really nice, and you know how dirty it was before I come in, you're like, you have no idea how clean this room is compared to where it was. It's like, yeah, that's true, I don't. So, like, it's hard in a game to let somebody know how much they've cleaned up, how much they've improved if they weren't there before. I'd have at least tried the seasonal stuff if they went that route, but the feeling left behind is too much for me to jump back in otherwise. I do remember Div 1 and Div 2 selling a ton of copies, but I feel like they didn't want to go full live service. I don't think I ever got the impression they didn't want to go full live service. I mean, it felt like they were structured for live service. It just didn't work, and so they had to kind of like reassess how they were going to do content rhythms, I guess. I don't know. I'd rather keep playing Division than Marathon. I mean, they're very different games. Membership renewal from Steven over here on YouTube, 8 months. Yo, Lono, how's it going? Did you hear about Ghost of Yote? I think Rockstar gave Sony the call. I talked about that a little bit this morning. We'll probably get into that tomorrow. I think PlayStation knows GTA 6 release date. I think they know it. I don't remember the last thing I did in Div 2. I think we killed Aaron Keener last time I played. The guy who went rogue. I guess what I mean is that they wanted the new game every few years, but who knows? I mean, maybe. How do you get new players? I think typically you get new players in a game like this or a long-standing game by you got to create some kind of a bundle value access point. Right? The Division Heartland is still in development? No, Division Heartland has basically been absorbed into the next division, more than likely. 2025 year to date, the top 20 games of physical or full digital Nintendo eShop, PlayStation, Steam, and Xbox publishers ranked in dollar sales. Oh, look at that. The second highest selling game of the year is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Wow. Above Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Above MLB The Show, above Call of Duty, above WWE 2K, above Civ, above NBA, above PGA. Wow. Isn't that remarkable? Man. What a flop and a failure. It's not enough to save Ubisoft, though. Yeah. What's it behind? Monster Hunter Wilds. The only thing that's going to compete with Monster Hunter Wilds this year is probably Mario Kart. Yeah, Split Fiction's in the top 10. That's crazy. That's dollars, says Russell Stewart. But how many players? Expanding on this, Assassin's Creed Shadows ranked 3rd in the U.S. launch month dollar sales for titles in the franchise, only behind AC3 and AC Valhalla. Member Light renewal from Kenneth, 26 months. The Division 2 always got back because of the content, new exotic armor, and weapons to earn. Yeah, I think GTA's coming mid-November. Flash Gordon says, new weapons, perks, good map. That would attract new players. If you guys are watching on Twitch, thanks so much. I've been reinstated for about a week now over here. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to click follow for a daily talk show where we either co-stream live events, discuss gaming news. I keep it safe for work. So thanks so much for tuning in over here. Thanks so much for watching on YouTube as well, guys. Try to get us to 200 likes. If you like watching on YouTube, those likes help immensely. Is November still fall? Yes, November is still considered the fall. Yes. I looked that up because I was curious. I always think of November as the winter, but it's not. It's still considered as part of fall. So yeah, I think that PlayStation got the mid-November date got confirmed. And PlayStation knows it, and I think because of that, I think PlayStation gave Yote October the 2nd. Winter starts December 21st. Yeah, winter is like almost synonymous with holiday, like Christmas. And a lot of us don't think that, right? A lot of us think like, dude, like halfway through November, what are you talking about? It's like snowing and crap. Like that feels like winter, doesn't it? This game's been going for 10 years. No. The Division 2 came out in what, like 2018? What was the Division 2 release date? 2019. Yeah, it's been out for 6 years. March of 2019, according to this. Yeah, this says March of 2019. That's 6 years. You guys are saying 7. It's not even 7. Yeah. Oh, you might be thinking about the franchise. Maybe you're thinking about Div 1. That might be what you're thinking of. Yeah. Div 1 was 2015. I remember because that's one of the reasons I was able to get partnered on Twitch, because a bunch of the Destiny streamers went and played the Division 1. I kept playing Destiny and doing raid helps, and it gave me a boost in viewership. And it was a big enough boost to really carry us, and we got approved for partnership. 2016? Oh, no, 2016. You're right. I keep confusing myself. 2015 is when I started streaming. 2016 is when I got partnered. You're correct. Division 1 is 2016. Sorry. I'm getting my years crossed again. Yeah. Because early 2016 is when I got partnered. Yeah, both the guy from Larian and Luke Stevens are encouraging people to buy Expedition 33. Yes, I agree. I agree with that sentiment. Support these smaller studios, especially when they have a Game of the Year contender. All right, guys, in 5 minutes, we're going to be watching the Division stream. If you're watching on YouTube, smash the like button. If you're watching on Twitch, consider hitting follow, using your Prime sub, gifting some subs. You guys crushed it yesterday. Currently, YouTube is winning the contest by 19. They said 4-player. You were at 2, work as a team. 512 design. You always really struggle with never typing a sentence that's not riddled with typos, brother. I have no idea what you're trying to say. Maddie said it was the best game he's ever played. Wow. I mean, listen, man. I told y'all to keep an eye on it. I said Expedition 33 is going to be a Game of the Year contender, and You try Off the Grid. No, I don't really play games like that. Are we not confused that they've been working on this game in the background for all these years? Oh, is that what you're talking about? I mean, yeah, they've probably been working on Division 2 for 10 years. I think that's fair to say. Yes. Like, tangentially working on it, because they worked on Division 1, and a lot of what they did in Division 1 ended up in Division 2. That's not what he said. He said one of. Isn't that what I just said? He said one of the best? Did I misread? Maddie said it was the best game he's ever played. Oh, sorry. Maddie said it's one of the best. Sorry, we missed that phrase. Yeah, D-Tom didn't say that. He said the best. He said it triumphed his favorite in many aspects, which was Royal. Fozzie says, no, I'm asking if we're confused that they are still creating content. When was the last update for Div 2? Oh. I don't know. I don't know. I've not been following the game. I really have not. I really have not been following the game. His favorite game is KOTOR. It's been 2 to 3 years. The last time we covered their new content announcements was in 2023. I have not made a single piece of content about The Division since then. I haven't. They've been updating Div 2 for 3 years now. Right, but they're not like they haven't been doing big content pushes, right? Like they did the thing like 2 years ago that we covered, and then I don't know if have they done anything since? I'm still active in the game. Shade level 1200 or so. Still has a very active player base, and it looks gorgeous on the PS5. It does look really nice. I will say that. I knew it had some sauce when you didn't really jive with Baldur's Gate 3, and then you saw Expedition 33, and you're like, that looks good. I always thought Baldur's Gate 3 looked amazing, but then I heard it was turn-based, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that. And then I saw Expedition 33, and I'm like, what the frick? I want to play that right now. I want to play that right now. Like the rogue thing, the nuclear reactor. This is the second DLC. Okay. All right, their thing's going to start any second. Guys, thanks for the strong turnout on YouTube. Strong turnout on Twitch. Just so encouraging to see this. Appreciate you guys so much. We're going to co-stream this. We'll talk about it afterwards. We do end the day in Green Room, and that is for paying members only on YouTube. Twitch, eventually you are going to need to be a subscriber to come to the Green Room, but for the time being, you get that segment for free. It's our planning session for the next day. So thanks so much for being here. YouTube, make sure and double check that it saved your like. We are in the second stream of the day, so your like from earlier is no longer counting. We need a new like from you. They need crossplay. You're not the first person to say that this morning. A lot of people have come in and said that. Need a Ghost Recon Wildlands style game with much great city emphasis. Maybe Yakuza style. Heartland wasn't canceled. Far as we can tell, Heartland is going to be, I think, absorbed into Division 3. I think the Division 3 is going to have some type of a survival mode. Because I remember I always said, like, where's survival? Like, it did so well in Div 1, and then Div 2 didn't have it. And then all of a sudden they started talking about Heartland, and Heartland was literally just the survival mode, like, as a game. So I could see, to me, it stands to reason to just put it into Div 3, but, you know, I'm not in charge. All right, here we go. Okay, they've got sound, so I'm going to switch to them. I'm going to switch to their sound over my own. Hopefully they don't use copyrighted music. Hopefully they have music. Oh, it's very faint. It's very faint. Here it is. There it is. Illuminati says, let's get to 200 likes. That's right. We just need 50 more. Smash it up, boys. Survival was great in Div 1. That's all I played at the time. I remember. You think cover shooters should come back? My armchair 30,000 foot take on the Division has always been that there needed to be a happier blend between the abilities and the gunplay. I always felt like playing through the campaign felt great. You had all these very, very sort of cool abilities, and you would use them, and then you would get out of the gameplay. I'm sorry, you get out of the campaign, and when you got out of the campaign, a lot of those abilities become completely and utterly worthless. It becomes very bullet spongy. There's one or two abilities that matter. I felt like what the Division should always try to excel at is we're the Division. We're developing cutting-edge tech to fight and protect humanity. And there would be like, I would be using 50% abilities and 50% gun. Do you remember Anthem? Anthem was like 80% abilities, 20% gun if you played right. Right? It was like almost all abilities. It was like that's all you did in Anthem. The guns were like a minimal, showcase. I always felt like the Division was the inverse of that. Division was just like blah, 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 and you're just shooting, and then like, oh, here's an ability to keep me healthy. Here's an ability to keep you healthy. Here's an ability to keep you healthy. All right, back to shooting. It's like I'd slice that sucker right down the middle, and I would have gameplay that really has an interplay between both, so that when I get to the end game, I'm using abilities constantly and guns. It's much better now. Again, that doesn't matter to me. It wasn't like that when it launched, so like I'm not going to keep coming back with the hope that it's better. Does that make sense? You gotta launch in that state. Nobody likes getting out of the campaign and being like, well, I unlocked all these abilities, now they all suck. Now they all suck because the end game just requires very narrow builds. Smiley with a VIP, 39 months on YouTube. I've been with work, but wanted to say congrats on getting your Twitch channel back. You deserve it. And then a gifted member from Raphael. Thank you so much, Raphael. And look at that. 25 now. YouTube once again really showing the Twitch boys how we do it over here. Leading the charge. Leading the charge. I really miss the Anthem gameplay combat. It's such a shame the game died. There wasn't much that felt like that. Ability builds came later. I just continue to think that the minute I cross over out of campaign to end game, you should not be shrinking the amount of like viable abilities. Warframe blends melee ranged ability so well. I just never got down to Warframe. And then another renewal comes from Dirge with a VIP, 23 months, one more month for 2 years. The Division had trouble making me feel powerful, says Fozzie. Fozzie, can't count it on YouTube without it being, hang on, I need to count, let's see, 3 of those. You guys are at 358 for the total count of YouTube. I can't count it unless it's a member plus. Member lights can be gifted, then you double dip. Marathon was dope. I'll die on that hill. What do you mean was dope? Are you talking? I think you typoed. Anthem was so close to being a beast of a game. 47. Holy mackerel. I owe you guys 10 members on YouTube. Keep it going. Here we go.
Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the Division 2 Showcase. We have a lot in store for you today, so let's go.
Year 6 has truly become a year of transformation where we've crafted an ever-evolving experience by making modifiers a core part of our seasonal framework.
With 3 distinct seasons throughout the year, each introduced significant changes to the endgame and our seasonal model.
As we look ahead to Year 7, we remain dedicated to pushing the game to new heights of accessibility for new players and engagement.
With only a few weeks remaining until the final climax mission of Year 6, let's take a sneak peek at what's in store for the upcoming Year 7.
Year 7 will focus on three main goals. With the constant influx of new players, improving and streamlining the onboarding process for new agents is more important than ever. We are also focused on adding more depth to the endgame, ensuring there is always something exciting to look forward to. Year 7 will solidify seasons as a cornerstone of the Division 2 experience. Our ambition is to increase the pace and situations, allowing for more regular updates and fresh experiences. Of course, seasons are not the only thing you can expect. During Year 7, we want to make the open world a more dynamic part of the endgame. For example, we're working on introducing an entirely new wrapper to open world activities that reacts to your actions while unlocking exotic blueprints farming to help you complete your arsenal. We're also focusing on the economy. More specifically, we have a package of revamps that will add more depth to the endgame progression, giving you more control over tinkering and item customization.
We aim to make Year 7 seasons a truly holistic experience by realigning the modifiers, gear, and gameplay with the narrative elements of the seasons, including the manhunt and climax.
Additionally, we want to leave room for your feedback. As we run a live game, we do our best to stay attuned to your needs and remain flexible to try to align our vision with your expectations.
We'll be sharing more updates over the course of the year, so you can look forward to more news and announcements each season.
In Year 7, you can look forward to a variety of in-game events, including XP multipliers as well as seasonal projects.
Additionally, exciting new features such as weapon stats and resource boost will be introduced.
Year 6 introduced one of the most anticipated quality of life updates, the stash space increase.
In Year 7, we'll continue expanding stash space along with the Battle for Brooklyn DLC.
Talking about the DLC, today we are thrilled to bring you an in-depth look at Battle for Brooklyn. Battle for Brooklyn expands the Division franchise with a gripping new story. Whether you're a veteran eager to dive deeper into the narrative or completely new to the franchise, the DLC has something for everyone. For the first time, players can explore post-pandemic New York in the fall, navigating iconic Brooklyn neighborhoods. You can tackle the new challenges solo or in co-op, making this DLC exciting for everyone. Let's take a look at what awaits agents in Brooklyn.
Battle for Brooklyn.
Yo, Ben, thanks for 24 months.
Brooklyn neighborhoods of Brooklyn Heights and Dumbo, including some familiar areas for the Division 1 players, as well as some new areas never explored in the franchise.
Main missions take place off-site to allow for a greater bespoke story experience on your first playthrough.
And the traditional side missions are replaced by replayable missions you can access from the open world.
To experience everything that Battle for Brooklyn has to offer, it will take approximately 6 to 10 hours, especially if you want to discover all the activities we have prepared for you, including 4 control points, 12 living world activities, 10 bounty locations, 8 hunter readers, and a new set of collectible bounties.
We're going back to Brooklyn because sometimes you need to go back to where you started to see how far you've come. A lot's happened in Brooklyn since the prologue of Division 1. People have moved over, trying to escape the chaos of Manhattan, and they're looking to build a new life, make a change. Coming to Brooklyn in the fall is absolutely significant to our story. It helps us show the passage of time and our characters' and players' evolution as we approach the 1-year anniversary of activation.
To bring autumn to the Division 2, we had to investigate firstly the vegetation and the weather. Via the foliage, we are dressing the city in warm autumn colors. For the weather, we have crafted something specific to Brooklyn. We went for a mix of warm weather with golden light and, of course, something moodier to try to capture the autumnal contrasts. For Washington Street, the iconic starting area in the Division 1 overlooking Manhattan Bridge, we wanted it to still feel familiar to the players, but also really show at a glance how time has passed and hint to what might have happened in the meantime.
The bridge is the heart of Brooklyn, and the people there have pooled talent and resources that our hostile factions would like to acquire. There, you'll be tasked with protecting the people who built the settlement. Some of the characters you'll meet at the bridge throughout the campaign are familiar faces like Theo Parnell and Dr. Candle, and a brand new face that we've really only heard her voice, Agent Hoskins.
When taking Candle from Division 1 to Division 2, we wanted to show that some time has passed. She's still wearing her same old ID badge, but it's now more worn and has some wear to it. And my colleague Marie's ID badge here at Massive actually proved as a perfect reference for this because it has seen some better days. When designing Melanie Hoskins, we wanted to make sure that you can recognize some of her backstory and her character design. So we gave her a very cute bracelet that says Mom that she wears that were made by her 4-year-old son Freddie. And throughout Brooklyn, we've hidden all these character backstories in their character designs.
The settlement evolves throughout the campaign in multiple stages. What we wanted to capture here is the feeling of community coming together, building and protecting themselves. Brooklyn was hit by the hurricane alongside Manhattan, only here things happened a bit differently. For some areas, the people in Brooklyn have come together to protect the shoreline from the hurricane, so its impact on the city has not been the same as in Manhattan. Moreover, the community has also started cleaning up after the storm. People in Brooklyn strive to rebuild their lives. They are looking into covering their base necessities in terms of food and water, so they are using the available space inside the city to do so, including the rooftops.
In the DLC, players will actually be facing an enemy that they are usually used to, or that they have been fighting already, and that's the cleaners. But there's a special twist on those cleaners, because they actually have a new weapon, which is what we call the Purple Flame. People might be familiar with the idea of the Purple Flame. Those who have played the Incursion, the Mirror Estate, they might have seen that already. This is something we introduced back then. But in this DLC, in Battle for Brooklyn, the cleaners have been able to find ways to mass produce this weapon, and this is really their main way of bringing destruction. This is how they've launched the assault on Brooklyn now, using that new weapon to really try to erase Brooklyn from the map. So as an agent, you have to go there, not just face the cleaners as you know them, but face the cleaners with that extra level of threat and of danger because of the Purple Flame. In-game, what this means, basically, is there is a new effect that is added to the usual fire effect you would get from the cleaners. Every time you face a cleaner that uses Purple Flame, you're not only going to be set on fire, but we're also adding a corrosion effect. And this corrosion, what it does is it's basically reducing your max armor. So the longer you engage in a fight against cleaners with Purple Flame, the lower your armor gets. And even if you use armor kits, even if you try to heal, you're only going to be able to go as high as what your new maximum is. And that maximum keeps decreasing the longer you fight them. And of course, this is part of our story. This is part of why the cleaners are coming to Brooklyn, or why you need to go there and stop them, because it's an unusual threat. It's something that even the civilians in Brooklyn are not used to. We're going to have to find out how did they produce it, where are they producing it, and how did they get all the supplies they need to actually be able to mass produce this new weapon.
No Division story would be complete without the hunters. In Brooklyn, we have 8 new riddles and 8 masks that you can unlock, if you're willing to take on the challenge.
For the Brooklyn Hunters, we wanted their uniforms to actually match their mask designs a bit more than they usually do.
Her voice sounds so crisp and good. I wonder if they use her voice for characters.
Create a cohesive theme while maintaining their amazing classic hunter look.
Control points are a big part of the open world. With Brooklyn, we've taken them one step further. Based on faction ownership, players can expect a different challenge every time they encounter the same control points. Each hostile faction has its own unique ingredients. The cleaners have the Purple Flame, while the Rikers also have some surprises up their sleeve. Players can expect to encounter those new ingredients in every control point in Brooklyn. For players wanting a bigger challenge, increasing the global difficulty will also have an impact on the amount of ingredients that they encounter in the control points. Smart Cover returns in Battle for Brooklyn as a reimagined skill for PvE and PvP. Using the Smart Cover will reinforce cover, grant buffs to offense and defense, and enhance pulse resistance for all allies.
Players can choose between 2 variants, the Precision Smart Cover and the Fortified Smart Cover. Both variants have some stats tuned differently for PvP.
In the DLC, we have a new exotic mask called the Catalyst. And it's actually perfect against the cleaners, as it gives bonus for dealing and receiving status effect damage. So while burning, you can maintain ADS without disruption. When doing the effect for the Catalyst, we wanted to invoke the feeling of a dying fire. So when you move, the air stokes the fires, causing the mask to flare up more and more the faster you go. But when you stop, the fire slowly dies and only smoke remains.
Battle for Brooklyn launches on May 27, 2025. The DLC will be available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. For those of you who already own The Division 2, Battle for Brooklyn will be added to the main game, Warlords of New York expansion, and the Battle for Brooklyn DLC in May. No matter through which edition you decide to get the DLC, it comes with a level 40 boost, allowing you to jump right into the Battle for Brooklyn campaign, and 50 stash space slots, also accessible in the main game.
Working on the Division 2 DLC was an exciting challenge for us.
We're thrilled to be bringing players back to New York, and we can't wait for you to play the Battle for Brooklyn DLC.
Thank you for watching. Now, let's go where it all began. And don't forget to mark your calendars. The rendezvous is planned for May 27th. See you in Brooklyn, agents.
Yeah, sorry YouTube. I don't know what's going on. YouTube's having some trouble. It's fixed. I mean, good luck to them. That's a terrible time to launch, I think. Right at the end of May, right before June, marketing's going to be heating up. Doom's going to be coming out. Wait, was that it? Hang on. No, that was it? I thought they were going to talk about Year 7. What the heck? Yeah, Elden Ring, Night Rain, and Doom the Dark Ages are around that time. That's a terrible window to launch your DLC. Doc? Is Doc in chat? I didn't see him. Yeah, Mario Kart World? Like, that's a tough window. End of May is really tough right now. I'm surprised. I feel like they did this the last time they launched a DLC. They launched it like right on top of something else, didn't they? I feel like they did this the last time. We were like, oh, really? You're going to put your DLC out like right at the same time as everything else? What was the thing? What was it? I can't remember. I swear we've had this conversation before with The Division where they, and thank you, Ben, by the way, you re-upped for 24 months on Twitch and said, welcome back, brother. I didn't get to really properly thank you because we were in the middle of the co-stream. Their marketing's never on point. I don't know how many Div 2 players dabble in Doom or Elden Ring. So, Doom, one of the most popular boomer shooters in history, and Elden Ring, one of the most popular franchises lately. You don't think it's going to pull anybody? It's not even about the players. It's about the marketing. It's not even about the players. It's about everybody's going to be talking about Doom and Elden Ring and Mario Kart. Because, like, that's literally, that window of time is terrible. That is a terrible time to do anything. Nobody's going to be talking about your DLC. They dropped the last update the same day as the Destiny expansion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're terrible at picking release targets. They're really bad at that. I don't know what to tell you, boys. That is a terrible strategy. Let's just go up against Leviathans. You know, let's just see how we... Now, to be fair, there's not really a good place to put it. I mean, the calendar is full. I mean, to be fair, the calendar is very full. I don't know if it matters, says Eugene. The Div community is small and dedicated. Well, okay, something they didn't say either is how they were going to make the game accessible to new players. They never even went into details about it. They said they were going to... And then I was like, okay, I'm interested to see how you're going to do that. And they're like, but we're not going to tell you how we're doing that. We're going to make the game more accessible to new players, but we're not going to spell that out for you. Oh, well, all right. I guess I'll just have to roll the dice when the game comes out. Level Jump technically does that. Right, but spend 60 seconds showing a new user what it's going to look like to come into the game fresh. What are you going to do with my character? What's going to be my first, a task or operation? Like, what am I doing when I land in the game? Now, maybe that's not their concern, but like 60 seconds could have really helped. Like, hey, you can get into the game right now for $15 or whatever the price point is. You're going to get all this content, and here's what your character is going to look like, and here's your starting point. Oh, okay. Yeah, jumping to level 40, but that doesn't mean anything to somebody who's not presently playing. I don't know what that means. I don't know what to jump to level 40 is. That would be like saying, come play World of Warcraft right now. We'll jump you to level 70. You'd be like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? What's that mean for my character? What, huh? They always have say one thing, but when the DLC comes out, it's mostly buggy and glitchy. They have somehow overpromised on certain things. I don't know. That's a really, really weird stream premiere. That was very bizarre. Jumping to level 40 without ever playing the game would be confusing. Yeah, you've got to contextualize what does level 40 mean. Like, okay, thank you. It's helpful to know I'm not starting at ground zero. Okay, that's helpful. Can you just show me what that looks like? Just, I don't know, 60 seconds. Just show me what that looks like. I had low expectations. Was a piss poor representation of what they're doing as usual. I can clarify something for me. 15 for a 10-hour DLC is the entire Year 7 content? Yeah, they said they were going to be going into details about Year 7. I didn't... what? Where? Where did they go into detail about Year 7? They talked about the Brooklyn DLC, all the stuff it's going to come with. It sounds like a great value for Division players for $15. Like, if you're a Division player, $15, that's great. A super chat from Neo Reaper says, they're going to make you create a new character every season, but that was met with severe backlash. Thank you for the $5 super chat on YouTube. Like, for a Division player, what they showed, I think $15, that sounds great. That sounds like a bunch of content. For the new player, if you're going to make the game more accessible, you didn't explain how. A level jump is almost assumed. Like, I assume you're going to give me some kind of a level jump. You're not going to make me come play your game at level 0 if I want to play with my buds or whatever. You know, you guys are saying level 40 is max. There's no way for me to know that. I've actually played the game before, and I didn't know that. I'm completely disconnected from that world. You got to give me, like, you know, inroads back in. I don't know, man. I'm not quite sure what that was all about. Unless, again, this is just sort of the last bastion of their, let's try some new content types, build types, modifier types, test it, and then that'll help influence content for Div 3. They also talked about a name badge, a bracelet a character wears, a fire effect I can see with my eyes. That was pretty Ubisoft coded for sure. If people know how looter shooters play, they'll know what it means. It's an easy, oh nice, I get better gear and guns. What's there to understand? Okay, I have played every Borderlands in existence. I have thousands upon thousands of hours in Destiny. I have hundreds of hours in the Division 1 and 2, and I have no freaking clue what that's going to be like for me to come in right now. I don't. Yes, I assume if I come to your looter shooter 7 years later, you're going to give me a level bump. Just show me 60 seconds what it's going to look like for me to jump in day one. You know, you got to sell me. Come on, look at the calendar. You got to sell me. Why am I going to come play your game? Look at the dadgum calendar. There's so many games. There's so many things to play. What do you, homage? Oh, yeah, well, you know, I'll buy it and just see. Well, let's just kind of see how this goes. No, I'll play Doom. I'll play Elden Ring Night Rain. I'll play Mario Kart. It's free if we already have New York. I don't think anything would have sold you. Me, I'm a bad example, Eugene. I'm speaking generically. Like, imagine the average consumer watching that hasn't touched the game in 6, 7, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. You have no idea what the game's going to look like if you buy that DLC and jump in after a long, long break or a brand new player. I just think, again, I'm not trying to act like they should have marketed it to new players. You said you were going to make it more accessible to new players. A level jump doesn't really do that. That's just kind of a natural, that's kind of a given. I mean, with all due respect, that's kind of a given. If I'm going to jump into your game 7 years later, you better give me a level jump. You think I'm going to grind out your entire game to max level to play with my buds who have been grinding? Like, that's kind of a given. When they delayed this to 2025, they had to know they were effed. The year was too stacked. Blip. Man, are we still having serious problems? Big blip. Okay, it looks like Brett's the only one saying it, so maybe he's getting an aftermath blip or something. No blip here. Yeah, that might have been an aftermath. We had a huge blip earlier, and sometimes that can cause ripples later on downstream. It feels like it's only for current dedicated players. And Eugene, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. That one sentence just got my attention. I was like, oh, they're going to make it more accessible to returning players. I would like to know what that is. Maybe not necessarily for me, but what if somebody comes in and asks me, right? What if somebody comes and asks me? I'm like, oh, well, if you jump into the Division 2 with the Brooklyn DLC in Year 7, this is how they're going to set you up. All I can say now is, well, they'll give you a level 40 character. I have no idea what it's going to look like after that. I don't know if you can immediately jump into the new content. I don't know what kind of gear you're going to have. I assume they'll give you generic gear, and you'll be able to jump in right away with your buds. Outside of that, we didn't really get any detail. Again, I think 60 seconds is all you need. 60 seconds. If you're a returning player or a brand new player, here's what the game's going to look like when you boot it up. Here's your character. Here's your kit. Here's your level. Here's where you want to head first. Okay, cool. Thank you. You've now kind of contextualized me inside of what you're doing 7 years later. I do think companies have to start thinking about this with their live service games. You've got to sort of like give me context so I can like mentally reintegrate to be like, if I come play your game, I come buy your content, this is kind of what I should expect. Instead of just being like, oh, we'll do it, we'll give you a level bump. It's like, that's fine. I mean, you do not have to cater to me. You don't. It's far better for the devs to cater to their existing user base. I'm just saying, if there was anybody considering, on the fence, or thinking about coming back, that was like, what? I have no idea what I'm coming back to. And I don't think what I'm asking for is ridiculous. I'm asking for like a 40 to 60 second spot to give somebody a picture in their mind about what it would look like to come back to the game. I believe Cyberpunk did that with Phantom Liberty, which really sold me on the DLC. It was like, you can jump in, we're going to give you a character, this is what the character is going to look like, you're going to have gear, you're going to be able to, have skill points to spend instantly. And I was like, oh, that sounds great, I'm going to do that. I feel like they did that with Cyberpunk, and that played a significant role in me wanting to play Phantom Liberty. It was like, oh, I know I've got an image in my mind of what it's going to look like to jump in, and I'm not going to feel that need to go back and play that god-awful, 4 to 5 hour tutorial again. So, I'm not trying to hate. I'm not trying to be overly critical. I'm just like, well, okay. That looks like the existing consumers, the existing Division players, I think, are getting great value. Good for them, and hopefully it's good for testing. It's good for data analysis, so it can heavily inform things they want to do in Div 3. I've always celebrated that about the Division and that team, is that they seem to very smartly, use the existing world and content to test things, to then, oh, hey, we learned this. Oh, hey, this worked. That didn't work. That, high, low, negative, positive. Like, I celebrate that. Yeah, do that. I think that's a really, really smart strategy. But man, if you wanted returning players to care or new players to care, you gave like barely a sentence to those people. And that's fine if that's not a priority. I honestly don't even know if I would have used that sentence. I would have said it differently. If you're a brand new or returning player, don't worry. We'll get you up to speed with the level and a kit so you can jump in with your friends immediately. That's generic, but at least it's better framed. It's like, oh, okay, I can come and play with my buds. You level 40. Well, I don't know what that means. So, yeah. I continue to think and hope that those boys over there can build the next great looter shooter. I think they have the data. I think they have the feel. I think shooting in Division feels fantastic. I think sound design and graphics, it's just a good-looking, crisp, crunchy game. I've always thought that. Nail the content loop, nail the builds, nail the ongoing format, and I think Division 3 could be a winner. It really, really could. If they fumble and fail on Division 3, I mean, that's kind of it. That's the end of the road for me. It's like you guys figured a lot of great things out in Div 1. Div 2 launched. You repeated a lot of the same dadgum mistakes, which is a little irritating. It was a little bit like, how'd you guys do this again? Which was kind of like what Destiny 2 did, right? It was like, how did you guys do this 2 times in a row? So I think they're in a prime position to build an amazing, third game. I really think so, especially if they leave behind old gen and they build everything for current gen. I think they can build a phenomenal game, and it could ship, 3 or 4 years from now at the tail end of this gen and be an absolute triumph. But my hope would be that what we saw today is evidence that Div 3 has a lot of bandwidth and that Div 2 has very minimal bandwidth now. That's what I would hope. As a fan of looter shooters, as a fan of, not currently, but, for a while there, I was a big live service looter shooter guy. I'm in their corner. I'm in their corner to say, hey, I hope you guys bring something hot to the market in the future. This DLC seems very much targeted at existing users. Totally fine. You don't have to make content for me. There's no reason to. I'm not in your game. I'm not loyal to your game right now. That's fair. And I hope whatever this is aids you guys in Div 3 development. So I'm not going to belabor the point, so we're actually going to go to Green Room early today. This is a great reason for you guys on YouTube to consider becoming a Member Plus subscriber to the channel. If you're a gifted, you don't get to come to Green Room. That's a gifted membership, and if you upgrade to Member Plus, you get to come to the next segment. If you're watching on Twitch, this is a paid-for segment, so I will switch the chat to sub-only just to get you accustomed to the idea that at the end of the day, you're going to want to be a sub. You're going to want to be supporting the channel directly in order to come to the end of the day where we kind of chop up and plan and scope things out. So you guys on Twitch, if you want to become a sub, it's as easy as using your Twitch Prime or paying the $6, or maybe somebody will gift. I'll switch to sub only. Twitch can also kind of cheat in the contest. Once we go to Green Room, YouTube can't gift anymore, so Twitch could maybe pull ahead or tie here and pull people into the chat and make it so they can chat. I'll set up redirect and give the guys on YouTube a link here in a second. You back on Twitch? Yeah, I got reinstated last week. If you have Amazon Prime, a great and easy way to support me is to go over to Twitch and give me your Prime sub. You can use the Twitch command in YouTube, and it'll give you the link. It's Reforge Gaming TV. We are trying to get the TV dropped off and get just the Reforge Gaming account name, if we can. For some reason, I don't... There we go. I can't type. Okay, there's the link in chat for the Green Room. Thank you so much for supporting the channel directly over here on YouTube. This is the Green Room, where if you're a Member Plus or VIP, you get into this end of the day segment. And thank you so much for doing that. If you're watching the tail end of the Division co-stream, consider upgrading to Member Plus, or just click join and become a brand new member at Member Plus. You help us hit those weekly goals when you do that. And it does support the channel directly. If you're like, man, I can't afford it right now, I got to stay on a gifted membership, totally fine. Twitch is able to watch this content for free for the time being. So I'm going to end the previous stream and redirect folks over.